Oh, what? Oh, the ship's on fire. Hey, how's it going? It is me, Mark, and today we're going to be back for another review for a 20 time, and I hope you guys have been having a wonderful start of the year. I know I have, and today's game is, well, it's quite interesting. But before we get right into the review, make sure to check out our website down in the description below. It really helps us out. We really have a diverse group of collection of games, I would say at least. A quite big variety of different kind of games, and make sure to check out the Steam link in the description, of course, or on the article. There's going to be a Steam link for the game there too. Check out the game. If it interests you, buy it. We really recommend it. It helps out the developers, helps, you know, that's how change really happens within early access games, is by you playing it and you giving back your feedback. We have reviewed a game similar to this, and if you want to check that one out, it is in the no card thing on YouTube. It's Podco if you want to go check out that review. It's a similar type of game, but it's quite different in a lot of other ways. The game we are going to be reviewing today is called Blackwake, an early access game, and you might be wondering, what is Blackwake? Well, I'm here to tell you. Blackwake is a multiplayer naval FPS where players work together to destroy and sink other enemy ships. The goal of the game is to sink all of the other team's ships and have the most kills by the end of the match. Blackwake is produced by Masterfire Studios Pty Ltd. and is an excellent example of how a team FPS game can merge with naval combat. Blackwake was released in early 2017 in the month of February and is currently $20 on Steam and still in early access, of course. As usual in our reviews, we are going to be starting off with the positives about this game, the neutrals, and even the negatives, so let's get right into it, guys. Quick disclaimer, I said this towards the end of the video too, but I call this game Blackwatch a lot of time, and I don't really know why. I wanted to say Overwatch a lot of times, and I got the names mixed up. I know it's Blackwake. Please, I know it's Blackwake. First off, of course, we're going to be talking about the positives about Blackwake, and to be completely honest, there are a lot of positives to mention about this game. This game has really surprised me in a lot of different ways. Right before I get into that, I just want to quickly mention again, check out the Steam link below for Blackwake. Highly recommended. The first thing I want to mention about Blackwake is the graphics about the game. It actually has surprisingly good graphics. And I was really impressed on how the ships were designed, how the water looked, how the weather looked. It actually looked really well made. And I was just blown away by the graphics. The graphics actually were almost perfect, I would say. I really enjoyed the graphic and the look of the game. Still kind of talking about the graphics of the game, the animations of the game are actually really good too. Nothing really looks kind of like blocky or doesn't look like it should move that way. The jumping looks smooth. You reloading your muskets and weapons and stuff like that looks good too. Loading in the cannon, everything runs smoothly, and that's something I was really surprised about this game. I know it's been out for almost a year, but still, for an early access game, at least that's what's being categorized still, it's doing pretty well, visually wise. Like I said before, once you're on the Navy ship or the pirate ship, you really feel like you're on a ship. The ship's really well made, and I don't know, I really like the feel of the game and how everything looks, and I just can't emphasize that enough because I really like graphics throughout all games, and I like to mention them. I did mention the ships before, and I'm going to continue talking about them now. The ships are really good. They're really well designed. There are quite a variety of ships. There are small ships, big ships, huge Navy ships, and they're all different. They all are designed differently. The cannons are placed differently. Everything looks different, and it shows a lot of effort was put into the game, and it was actually really well made. I have no idea if the ships are authentic, if they were based on actual ships, but they look like it. And I don't know, I was just impressed with how the ships looked in the game. Like I said in the intro or the description of this game, how it's a team-based FPS. This game is very team-based, and you're gonna have a lot of communication. Even if you're just playing with a friend, the other sailors, if you have some, or teammates, you're gonna be talking with them through the voice chat, as I found myself doing it several times throughout my gameplay or my time playing it. It's very team-based and it's much needed. You need a lot of coordination, load the right side, load the left side of the ship, port side, repair. It's very communicative, and I never really seen a game so like team-based like this. I can name a couple of them, but this one really, it works well with the team-based coordinations and all that stuff. So if you're into the multiplayer FPS, this is a game that should interest you. This kind of fits in what I said before, but this game really makes you feel involved and have a lot to do in the game. You never really have a time in the game that you feel like you're not really doing much. You're either repairing the holes in the ship, you know, looking out for Navy ships or enemy ships like the pirates or the Navy, whichever faction you are, or reloading the cannons, you know, equipping the stuff, or like getting a new loadout. There's always something you have to be doing in this game. And I like how it keeps you busy. It doesn't really like, I mean, there are times you can just look out into the sea and everything looks nice too, visually appealing. But there are not a lot of times that you're not going to have really nothing to do. And this is a multiplayer based game. If you want to know how the servers are run, sure, there are actually a lot of servers. I think if you look right here, you can see there's a lot of servers and they're all kind of different. They're not all populated. There's usually like 2 or 3 servers that are just full, and then a couple others that are not as full, or there's only a couple people in there. But I really like how they have like a huge like bank of servers, if I want to say it like that. And even if you want to just play with a friend on like a server that has no people, that server is going to get populated quickly, because as me and Daniel found out, we joined a game, we were the only 2 people on the map, and then quickly we got like the server populated to 12 or 20. So that's really nice. I liked that part. There are other games we have reviewed this year where it's kind of complicated to join friends on servers, but this one's really easy. You can hit Shift Tab and just join a friend on the server. It's really easy to join parties or like groups, or not even groups, just your friend. If you want to play with a friend, it's pretty easy to do that. And I only wanted to point that out because there are certain games we have reviewed previously that it's kind of difficult to join your friends, or it's kind of confusing, but this one's just straightforward. This has to do with the loading screen. I know this kind of comes out of nowhere, but on the loading screen, it's going to give you like a controls, like how the controls are in the game, or what are the controls. And I thought that was a really good idea. I never really seen a game that really tells you what the controls are, so you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. I just thought that was a good idea. I haven't really seen it around too many games, so I just wanted to point that out. Kudos to you developers. In terms of customization, it's actually pretty good in this game. There are actually quite a lot of variety of ways to like customize yourself. And if you want to, you could do yourself on the Navy side or the pirate side. There are kind of 2 different like slots for customization for that, or how you want to look. You don't really have to look the same way for both factions. But even when you like start leveling up, as you gain other wardrobes to wear, there are quite a lot of outfits to try on and a lot of things to put on yourself, even for the starter when you're starting out. And the customization isn't that bad. They can grow upon it, of course, but for the game right now, it's not that bad. Blackwake even has like a stats thing to show you how many kills you get, of course, but also the kind of kills you get, how you do when you're like dealing with the ship and stuff like that. And I really like that. I don't see, I mean, there are games that show you your stats and like this, but I just thought this was a nice feature to add. I wouldn't really expect Blackwake to have like an option like that. And I don't know, I just like the ideas that a lot of these, or the ideas these developers have incorporated into this game. I think a lot of them are actually really clever and nice to have. Something I was really impressed to about Blackwake is the leveling up. It actually has like a purpose. There are certain early access games that I don't think I have personally reviewed, but I think Daniel has reviewed, where leveling up doesn't really mean anything. It's just kind of there. It's like, oh, I leveled up. But this game, it kind of does matter, because it matters in customization wise. It matters because you unlock outfits, or I don't know if you unlock weapons, but I know certain outfits you have to be certain levels to wear or purchase maybe. And I just thought that they actually incorporate leveling up for a good reason. If you're into skins and stuff like that, I just thought it was a good idea. Good job. I'm saying good idea a lot, but a lot of these are really good concepts. If you're into the knowledge of wanting to know how the community is of the game, from what I found, the community is very nice. From what I've seen, there's of course assholes in every single community, but from what I've seen, they're very nice, they're communicative, they're funny, And I don't know, there's just a lot of nice people that I've seen throughout this game, and I haven't really seen like a particular asshole really. But yeah, if you're into that, the community looks not that bad. It looks pretty okay. If you want to know if the game looks to be dying soon, it does not look like that. The developers are updating the game, I don't know if daily, but they are updating the game, releasing patches weekly from what I've seen, or maybe not even weekly, but they're updating the game, and that's what I want to get my point across, that the game doesn't look like it's going to be dead. You're not going to be wasting your money if you buy this game. It's constantly updated, so that's why we recommend you giving opinions about the game, not just on our video, but on the Steam reviews, because that's really what developers really look at, and we encourage you to do so. Those are really the only positives that I could find about Blackwatch, but if you have your own things, if you buy the game I want to mention, comment on the video, or even write your own review, and get your points across. But of course, we're going to be moving on to the neutrals about the game, and there are like a couple, but nothing too big. Something that I think that is nice is the factions that they have in the servers. You could choose like the Navy or the Pirates, but the thing is, there could also be more factions added. I know it's like you can only choose between 2, but I just feel like that you can grow upon that and add more factions in over time. That's just an idea of thought that I would like to see in the game. I don't know if it's ever going to be done. It works with 2 teams, but it would be more interesting and more chaotic, and I think that adds to the fun of the game if you add more factions. Maybe even perhaps we can start with 3 and see how that turns out. Another thing I wanted to touch upon has kind of have to do with the graphics thing, which is why the thing I'm mentioning now is why I was so surprised about the graphic quality in the actual game. I don't know if this has to do with my monitor or my resolution or something like that, but this game full screen on my monitor on the loading screen looks actually kind of bad. If I'm gonna be quite frank, it looks kind of weird. It just looks so stretched. I don't know if there's an option to like fix that. It just doesn't really look right. The graphics look like okay still, but I don't know. I feel like they should be able to like, I don't know what's the word, adapt to every monitor or something like that. By this point in age, you know, the game, it's almost a year old by now, so I don't know, just something I wanted to point out. This is just a question I wanted to ponder up and let you to decide really. The game is $19.99, and in some ways this game does live up to that price. It is kind of expensive, I would say. I don't know, I just feel like, should it really be $20? I feel like maybe 15 or something like that would be a lot more manageable for some people. I don't know, that's just something I wanted you to ponder on. If it's too expensive for you, I understand. It's $20. But in the end, I do think it's worth it. I do think that it is worth $20, and even on sale, it's around like $14, $15. So maybe when a sale comes around, you can get this game. For that price, for around 15, I would say it's definitely worth the game. The value is right on point. But those are the only neutrals that I could find about Blackwatch, and of course we're gonna have to get into the negatives, because every game has at least a couple negatives to mention. In this game, even though as much praise as I give in Blackwatch, there are some negatives that I do want to mention and for you to be aware about. So if you want to get in a group of friends and work under like a party tag thing or like a party, you can into the game, but in the loading screen you can see the party tag thing in really small font too, which I think they can make the font bigger. I don't know if that's my resolution, but the party tag thing, it doesn't really make much sense, I think, or to me it doesn't really, and I think you can make it a lot more clear on how to create the party and like how to use the party tag. I think that can be like a lot better stated and explained thoroughly on what to do. It's just kind of iffy right now, and it's a good concept, and I really like the, I don't want to say the idea of it, but I'm going to say it again, the idea of it, but it could be better worked on. The game even has it doesn't really have a classic tutorial on how you have other games where like you go in a tutorial to tell you really what to do. The tutorial in game does send you into like a video and explains the controls and basically what you're trying to do. The thing is, you have to leave the game, go on YouTube, and watch a tutorial from there, which I don't really have that much of a problem with it, but I just feel like a game really shouldn't have to send you to YouTube, a different platform, leave the game. You don't really leave the game, but it like windows you out to watch a review. I feel like that's just something that can be better worked on, in my opinion. One bug that I really found about the game is the sinking mechanic is pretty buggy. When you like taking like cannon fire from another team and then you start to sink, you can be underwater and it looks like your ship has sunk basically, or is in the verge of sinking. You can't really do much, but you haven't really sunk, and it just makes you confused and you don't really know what to do, and then your ship sinks anyway, and you're like, wait, I wasn't sunk though? Oh, I could have actually saved my ship and not, lose. But that's really the only bug I could find about the game, or the one I really noticed, or the one that's prevalent right now that's actually kind of confusing. But other than that, bug-wise, there's not much to mention. Just the sinking mechanic, I feel like they could work on a little bit more. But those are the negatives, pretty much the only negatives that I could really find and Daniel could really find about Blackwake. And overall, it's a pretty good game. And I'm going to tell you my overall opinion about Blackwake. Before I get into that, I know I've been saying Blackwake, but it's Blackwake. I'm sorry, developers. I don't know why. I was thinking of Overwatch for some of these references too, or comparisons, but it's Blackwake. I know. Please. But overall, Blackwake is an excellent game with surprisingly good graphics plus very good sound design, all working together to create a great atmosphere on ship combat. While there is no single player aspect, the excellent multiplayer works well in today's increasingly multiplayer game base. If Blackwake continues on with its base gameplay and explains it, it could really be an excellent game coming out of early access into an actual game, not in early access. So from that, this game has really impressed me with its overall gameplay design and overall concepts in the game. I'm going to have to give this game the highest review I think we've given so far. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I'm really looking forward to see what this game offers in the future, and I thoroughly enjoyed playing the game. It just felt so engaging and stuff like that, and I really urge you to consider buying this game or taking a look at the game, see if it interests you, buy it. I really, like I said, encourage you to buy it, because that really is how change in early access changes or bugs are fixed, is by you buying it and reporting it. But that is really everything I've had to say about Blackwake. Get the game, it's a good game. If you like Navy-based game or ship-based game or even multiplayer-based games, get the game. Really intrigued me, and thanks again for watching this review. And if you would go onto our website and watch our other reviews, that'd be really helpful too. The goal of our project is to spread awareness about games you may not have heard and small developers, so that's what we're trying to do. And once again, thank you for watching our review, and I hope you have a great time. I hope if you get the game, have a great time playing it. And I will see you guys in the next review. Have a great day.